You're going to see those headlines in 2023, year over year, real estate down, all of this stuff. I'm telling you right now, don't be put off by those headlines. Make sure you read those articles and really put some context to those things, because I'm here to tell you that 2023 is something to look forward to in the real estate market, and there's going to be opportunities for everybody. Stay tuned. We'll talk about why. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, eXp Realty. So excited to be here today on Why Invest Wednesday. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to dive into a ton of things to be ready for in 2023 here. If you are interested in my free buyer's guide, please comment below and I will absolutely get that to you. If you or anyone you know are thinking about buying or selling in 2023, now is the time to have these consultations. Even if you're not ready to list or buy it till November, now is a great time. So reach out. There's a calendar link below. You can book a time, 15-minute, no obligation consultation call, and we can make sure you're dialed in and ready to take advantage of the opportunity if and when it presents itself in 2023. So let's dive in here. Recently, I was quoted in an article on AxiosDenver.com. I will link it in the comments, but it was myself, Nicole Ruth from the RUETH team at OneTrust, Lori Abbey, and Rachel Gallegos from Mile High Modern, who are both amazing agents in our market, including me, who I was lucky enough to be called an expert as well in the article. And I'll link that below, like I said. But essentially, Nicole, who does a great job with the DMAR market trend, she's the head on the market trends committee. So she's always into those economic, all the economic data and all of that stuff as it comes out. But she started off by talking about Q1, Q2, Q3, and how that's going to look. She thinks that Q2 will see that transition to the lower rates. And once that happens, then we will definitely see more normalized seasonal demand come into the market. It's not really mentioned here by her, but the inventory is going to be tight at that point, because as she always talks about, there's so many people with interest rates, in the 3s and 4s. So, the interest rates being lower, I don't think we'll ever see them, or we won't see them at least next year as low as they were. So people are going to have to make some concessions on some pretty comfortable interest rates on those mortgages if they do. Next, I was quoted as, talking about how home buyers will have a little more leverage, and that's okay. And it's a little bit more healthy. Maybe home buyers will have a little bit of time to make logical decisions on purchasing, one of the biggest purchases, if not the biggest purchase of their lifetime, until they buy their next home. So I think the pullback will feel like a loss in value and a market correction and a shift, but it's really just going to be more normal. And so I was talking a little bit about that, and that giving the buyers a little bit of a chance to think about their options and think about that. Now, as we move forward into the lower mortgage rates, which will come, Lori Abbey was quoted as saying, the lower mortgage rates will unleash the pent-up demand. All the people that have waited for, since last April, if they were really on it and making that happen, they will kind of be back out in the market. And then Rachel Gallegos then said, that inventory is going to be tight. So we'll rely a lot on the new construction to do that. And I couldn't, I couldn't be more in agreement with these ladies on this topic. And then competition will heat up towards the mid-year because of, the interest rates, because people will either, be used to them or the interest rates will be lower. And so as that comes out, we're going to see some opportunities. I'm hoping that we won't go to that spot where, buyers were so just had to do whatever they could to get into homes. They were desperate and they were, 100,000 over and all of this stuff, because I don't think that's sustainable. And I think, if that happens, we'll definitely see this kind of roller coaster of emotions. And so I'm hoping that the interest rates stay kind of level, maybe go down a little bit to help with affordability. But I also hope that we don't see, buyers just being so desperate that they're driving up those prices so quickly that we can't maintain at that level. And the honest truth is, I just don't know where that inventory is going to come from. Home builders are still struggling with labor and products and all of that stuff. So I don't think that they're going to, fulfill the demand. Hopefully they can kind of at least keep up or, do what they need to do to build as many homes as they can. And so we talk about this, and you talk about, hearing the experts say all these things, and what does that really mean to you as a home buyer, a home seller? As the home buyers go, you're still getting a little bit more power as we move through this. Q1 is going to be an interesting time. A lot of people are saying it's going to be rough. I will tell you that I've had 5 or 6 calls, mostly from the buyers, out of the gate here this new year, which a lot of people think about, New Year's resolution or New Year's goals. They want to buy a home this year, so they're calling, which is awesome. Even if you're buying or selling in November, we should have a discussion so we can kind of keep everything on the radar and make adjustments as this market kind of unfolds. But I will tell you that I have had some calls recently, and that's super important. I mean, I'm not seeing a dead Q1 by any means, so that's something to consider. But I think as Q2, Q3, we either get used to it, the rates pull back. I think that the buyers are going to come to the market and go from there. So I'm super excited to see that. If you are thinking about buying, I think that there's a little window of opportunity, maybe, January, February, March into April. And I think then we'll start to see the spring pick up, the spring market will kind of go. And if the rates kind of maintain, I think that's where we'll see, inventory start to get outpaced, as it always is, but more so outpaced like it has been in the past come, the summer months. So if you're thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, again, all this market talk and all of these predictions, are just that. As we see, the Fed could say one thing and change the market for a weekend. They can say another thing and rates go down, and all of a sudden there's a flood into the market. So I think it's important we keep a close eye on the economy and understand, those jobless claims and, consumer price index. And they have, quick knee-jerk kind of reactions and kind of day trade feel to how they affect the market. But in the end, real estate will kind of survive. It will continue to go there. As I mentioned, those headlines, there's going to be great headlines, super heroic headlines about how, year over year, the real estate market's crashing, because just remember that the last Q1 of last year was absolutely on fire, insane. And so just make sure you're reading those articles and giving it context, and understand that we were coming off, the COVID years, which were really hot for real estate. And that was kind of the peak where, things were bonkers in most real estate markets across the country. So they're going to have all those year over year data polls to, put into the headlines and kind of spice things up and make you feel like things are really bad. But in the end, I think if we take a look at it, take a perspective, and we'll do from there, we'll understand and have a better perspective on what's actually happening in the market. Now, with the Denver Metro and the suburbs, new name to the channel, so we'll kind of focus on that. I think we'll see we're kind of insulated here. We've always seen a little bit higher than the national average of appreciation. We saw great appreciation over the last few years. So in the event, you do maybe lose a job or you get in trouble with your house, please understand that, you have so much equity, hopefully, and most people do, that we can make changes. Mortgage companies are being very, understanding and helping out with that so far. That doesn't mean yours will, but you got to get ahead of it. You got to get in front of it. And if we need to sell and pull some of that equity out and maybe downsize or whatever, we can do that. Just don't give any of that equity back to the big institutions, which is what you do when you quit paying and you kind of go into your shell and hide. Just know that that's an option. Reach out, always confidential. But I don't think that that's going to be happening a ton as we kind of go, because the Denver economy's a little bit better. The real estate market's a little bit better than the national average usually. And so as we continue, if you have any questions on that, we can do that. I will link the article below. That's what I think 2023 is going to be about, is seizing the opportunity, getting in, being ready to go when that opportunity presents itself, because it might be a 2 or 3 day window and we can make changes and we can do everything. We can always pull back once we start, if things change. But keep an eye on that market. Understand I am your resource for all things Denver real estate market related, and I will always be able to answer any questions you have and talk to you about your situation and make sure we're doing what's right for you. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Jeremy Kane, eXp Realty. Check out this video about being 40 times higher net worth if you're owning a home than renting. We'll have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.